make spoon soup today, and it's kind of an experiment.
What will you do with a stone? You cannot eat a stone.
So, I don't know if it's gonna taste good, but we're gonna try and follow the recipe that's in the book.
The young man put the round gray stone into the pot.
The spoon that makes the soup.
So the little old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. That's the floor of the doghouse.
Welcome to another great, amazing book show.
Stone Soup by Ann McGovern. Pictures by Winslow Pinney Pels. Isn't that a fun name? Winslow Pinney Pels? He's got a crow on his head. And he's got a bandaged foot. That's what happens when you walk so long. See, the top of his boot is right there, but the bottom of his boot is walked off. And this little old lady, she doesn't walk around enough to wear her shoes off. Look at that A. It's a fence post. A young man was walking. He walked and he walked. He walked all night and he walked all day. He was tired. He was hungry. At last he came to a big house. "What a fine house," he said. "There'll be plenty of food for me here." He knocked on the door. A little old lady opened it. "Good lady," said the young man, "I am very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "I've nothing to give you," said the little old lady. "I've nothing in the house. I've nothing in the garden." And she began to close the door. "Stop," said the young man. "If you will not give me something to eat, will you give me a stone?" "A stone?" said the little old lady. "What will you do with a stone? You cannot eat a stone." "Ah," said the young man, "I can make soup from a stone." Now the little old lady had never heard of that. Make soup from a stone? Fancy that. "There are stones in the road," said the little old lady. The young man picked up a round gray stone. "This stone will make wonderful soup," he said. "Now, get me a pot." The little old lady got a pot. "Fill the pot with water and put it on the fire," the young man said. The little old lady did as she was told, and soon the water was bubbling in the pot. The young man put the round gray stone into the pot. "Now we will wait for the stone to cook into soup," he said. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is cooking up fast." "It is cooking fast now," said the hungry young man. "But it would cook faster with some onions." So the little old lady went to the garden to get some yellow onions. Into the pot went the yellow onions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup smells good." "It smells good now," said the hungry young man. "But it would smell better with, some carrots." So the little old lady went out to the garden and pulled up all the carrots she could carry. Into the pot went the long, thin carrots with the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup tastes good." It tastes good now," said the hungry young man. "But it would taste better with beef bones." So the little old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. That's the floor of the doghouse. The dog has been chewing on those. She's gonna eat those. Ah! That's gross. Into the pot went the juicy beef bones, and the long thin carrots, and the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, This soup is fit for a prince. It is fit for a prince now, said the hungry young man. But it'd be fit for a king with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt, perhaps? So the little old lady got the pepper and the salt. Into the pot went the bit of pepper and the handful of salt, with the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, This soup is too thin. It is too thin now, said the hungry young man. But it would be nice and thick with some butter and barley. So the little old lady went to get butter and barley. Into the pot went the butter and barley, with the bit of pepper and the handful of salt, and the juicy beef bones, and the long thin carrots, and the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. Look at those chickens. She's working a butter churn right here. That's how you make butter. You take the milk and you scrape off the cream, and you sit there and you pound it and swish it around until you got butter. That's how they used to make it. Now they make it in a factory and they give it to you in a little square. But back then you made butter in a bucket. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady tasted the soup again. That is good soup, she said. Yes, said the hungry young man. This soup is fit for a king. Now we will eat it. Stop, said the little old lady. This soup is indeed fit for a king. Now I will set a table fit for a king. So she took out her best tablecloth and her best dishes. Then the little old lady and the hungry young man ate all the soup. The soup made with butter and barley and the bit of pepper and the handful of salt and the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that! Now I must be on my way, said the young man. He took the stone out of the pot and put it into his pocket. Why are you taking the stone? Said the little old lady. Well, said the young man, the stone is not cooked enough. I will have to cook it some more tomorrow. And the young man said goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, the bird had soup too, and the bird is so full it went to sleep on the floor. That's a big soup bone. Wow. He walked on down the road. He walked and he walked. What a fine supper I will have tomorrow, he said to himself. Soup from a stone. Fancy that.
We're gonna make spoon soup today, and it's kind of an experiment. So I don't know if it's gonna taste good, but we're gonna try and follow the recipe that's in the book, all except for the stone. See, we have to stick to spoon soup because the rocks that are around here, I don't know if I trust them. In the story, they use a stone, and back in the olden days, a stone was probably pretty safe to boil up in your soup. But the stones around my house, and probably around your house got some dirt on them. Not just dirt, but they could have chemicals and things. So, instead of a stone, we're gonna do something even better. We're gonna use a spoon. And the coolest thing, if you make spoon soup, the lucky kid gets to eat the soup with the spoon we made the soup with. So, pretty exciting. So, that's what I'm gonna make today for lunch, is some soup and some tabbouleh. And we've got to get all the ingredients or we can't make it. Then we picked up our barley. That's in the book. And then we found real beef bones. They're frozen solid. We're gonna see if this works. We still have no carrots. I'm growing onions in my little garden at home, but I don't grow carrots because I didn't plant any. So we gotta go somewhere else and find carrots. So let's go find them. Okay, mission accomplished. We got our carrots, we got our parsley. We didn't get a balloon, or a pumpkin, or a witch. There's all kinds of fun stuff at the grocery store. I didn't know they sold witches. Like I said, this isn't stone soup, this is spoon soup. You gotta select a good spoon. Good solid spoon that looks like it's got good soup in it. Then we're gonna throw this into the pot. We're gonna put that over here on the stove. Oh, look at that. It's ready to go.
The spoon that makes the soup.
It's in.
We're gonna throw our beef bones in because they need to defrost.
In they go. Here's my onions. There's a little guy. This one. That one there. There we go. Gotta wash our carrots, because they all grow in the dirt. Chop off the top part here. These don't make good salad. Some people peel their carrots before they put them in a soup, but I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. They're round like little wheels. Oh, and they're trying to get away. You gotta do it fast. This is very hot water and you gotta be really careful around it. We don't touch it, we don't touch the pot. We only use long-handled tools, but this is starting to smell like really good soup. It smells like in the book. See, this kind of salt is really thick and blocky. So you can put that in there, but we're gonna try and grind some. Twist, 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 twist. That's a peppercorn. So we gotta grind them up. And the grinded pepper goes into our soup. And I don't know if you can hear the little spoon in there clinking around, but it is making this the best spoon soup. We're gonna have to add some butter and some barley. Barley is a grain. Then the next thing she adds is the butter. So we're gonna put some butter in here. I'm gonna put cream until we feel like we're good. I think right about there. You can add whatever you would like to this soup. That's the neat thing about stone soup or spoon soup. So if you wanted to add celery or some sage or thyme, you could even add hot sauce. Maybe I will. Check this out. Frank's Red Hot Original. This is cayenne pepper sauce. And we'll add just a dash, like they would down in Louisiana. We gotta slow down our heat. We don't want it all to splash out. That barley's gotta get nice and cooked. There's my bowl. We're gonna start with this little onion here. Little pieces, about half a bunch of parsley right in there. Lemon, split that. Take the peel and don't squirt it in your eye because that will sting. This. Woo! Pecans grow in a big tree. It's one of the best climbing trees. And who knows what it'll taste like until you make it. Here's my olive oil. There's your 1/4 cup. Some salt. It smells so fresh. You might want less onion. There's a lot of fresh onion in here.
And it might be a little strong for kids. You can play around with it though. I like it. Yeah, it's been about 40 minutes. Let's chop up our onions. We'll put them in our soup. We'll try our spoon soup. Chop, chop, timber! I don't know how much of this we're gonna want to chop. When is he going to stop cutting green onions up? Is that enough? There is our mountain. Now, we're gonna go over here and put them in. Oh, soup. Ah, they're rolling away. They're getting away. I'm being very careful not to burn myself because it smells really good. Shall I find our spoon in the bottom? There's our spoon. That's our spoon though. Let's get a set of tongs and get our spoon out. That's the spoon that made the soup. I'm gonna eat it with this spoon. I'm gonna put it in the sink and cool it off. We're gonna dish up a bowl of this lovely soup. Whew, that is hot soup. I can feel it through the bowl. It's perfect for a fall day when it gets cold outside, because it will warm you right up. There's what it looks like topped with a little bit of tabbouleh. It worked! It's really good! I recommend stone soup. Make it with a spoon. It turns out just as good or better. I hope you guys will make some stone soup at home. Use a spoon or a measuring cup, something made out of metal, and throw it in that pot, and then add the other things. And you can make a lovely soup too. And that is one of my favorite stories that I grew up with. Stone Soup by Ann McGovern. Pictures by Winslow Pinney Pels. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please help our channel grow. Hit the like button.
We do hope you've enjoyed this great, amazing book show, and if you'd like to listen to further titles, please check out our other videos. Or subscribe and continue to enjoy more of these fascinating stories.